This is the first estate, and this lesson centers on Dajjal, one-eyed antichrist is King David. So this little article that we are looking at is a prophecy by the Arab prophet Muhammad. But I will tell you something which no prophet has told his people. Verily, he, Dajjal, is one-eyed, and Allah is not one-eyed. So, going to scroll up this, and you can read it at your own leisure. Okay? But they are not under the belief that the dark Messiah, as they're calling him, is of good faith, okay? Or that he is King David, like I believe it. They just believe he is a man that is of wicked intent. Strong's Concordance. This book contains the definition of every word in the King James Bible, Old and New Testament. Word is black. It's print off from Strong's Concordance. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. I will be reading biblical scriptures throughout this lesson. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2 states, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. So we are talking about a race of people because we are talking about sunburned skin. Right? So the Jews are black. Now, Judah means praised, son of Jacob by Leah. As you can see, all 12 tribes are known as Judah. They have their distinct tribal names and blessings, but they're all of one race and one big family. They're all black. Here we have David, means beloved, youngest son of Jesse and second king of Israel after Saul. Okay. Now the definition here, as you can see, is from our baby names. And it is also David. Another name for him is Dava. See, beloved, David. Dava. Dava right here. So, as you can see, claim, lawsuit, process, fist fight, punch up, and we know that in the Old Testament, David fought the great giant Goliath and defeated him. So he's, no fear in going to war. All right? So remember, Dava means David. So we're going to break the word Dajjal down into syllables. And as you can see right here, Dava. Okay? So, Dava. Now, Dajjal. So, the Dajjal, as you can see down here, says false Messiah, or deceiver. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the book of Matthew. And in Matthew chapter 27, verse 62 through 66 states, now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore that the sepulchre be made sure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, He is risen from the dead. So the last error shall be worse than the first. Pilate said unto them, Ye have a watch, go your way, make it as sure as you can. So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. So they referred to Jesus as a deceiver. Now, in the beginning article, they called the Arab community, the Dajjal, the dark Messiah, right? Deceiver. Okay? Now, once again, we know that DAJ means Dava or David. Okay? So, keep all this in mind. Hope you have a long attention span. Brings us here. Now, Jah. All right? Have the word Jah. And as you can see, means L. See? E-L. All right? E-L. Now, up here at the key, you'll see E-L, which means Emmanuel. Now, we all know, or most of us who are into the Bible, understand who Emmanuel is in the New Testament. I'm going to read a verse, the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 14. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. So we know that that virgin is Mary. So here you go. L. So Jah means L. L leads us to Emmanuel. Where is Emmanuel going to lead us? Emmanuel leads us here. So the word L E is also, see right here, E L, which means left eye. So now we're speaking of the left eye of the Dajjal, which is something that the Arab community never really specified. They just knew he would have one eye. All right. Now here we go. Pseudepigrapha. We're going to go into this book now. As you can see, it's an extension of the Old Testament. All right. I highly recommend this book. It's about 1,000 pages or close to it. Here we go with the Antichrist. Okay. Now, the Antichrist, and we're going to read from 25 through 36. So as you see right up here, it's a little faded or blurry, but 25, verse 25 and 36 is right here. So let's get this around. And they led me away to the north, and I saw a man there restrained with iron bars. And I asked, who is this? And he said to me, this is the one who says, I am the Son of God, and he who made stone bread and water wine. And the prophet said, make known to me what sort of appearance he has, and I will inform the race of men lest they believe in him. And he said to me, the appearance of his face is as of a wild man. His right eye is like a star rising at dawn, and the other is unmoving. So this proves he has one eye. Okay. His mouth is 1 cubit, his teeth are a span long, his fingers are like scythes, the soles of his feet 2 span, and on his forehead an inscription, Antichrist. He was exalted to heaven, he will descend as far as Hades. One time he will be a child, another an old man. And the prophet said, Lord, how do you permit the race of men to stray? And God said, hear my prophet. He becomes a child and an old man, and let no one believe him that he is my beloved son. Now this is very interesting because this is twofold. Because on one hand, it's speaking of Hollywood movies, and on the other hand, this is actually speaking of the Son of God. Okay? Because both Jesus and now you see the Dajjal, who's now coming back as King David, both did suffer the loss of an eye, left eye. We know this. Emmanuel, left eye. Okay, so with that, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next frame. So here we have Antichrist. Okay, so up here you see Anti. Christos, Antichrist, the adversary of the Messiah. It's going to get quite interesting, but you will understand the revelation at the end. Now, we're going to break that word Antichrist down. So remember, anti or anti, right here, the key. Very important, always the key. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So you see the word right here, for. This is from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. So Esau, he's anti, but let's see exactly what he is anti. Anti, of course, means against. See? Now, brings us here. So Esau. Now Esau, as you can see, is the eldest son of Isaac and Rebekah and twin brother of Jacob. We know that Jacob is black. We established that at the beginning. Sold the birthright for food when he was hungry, and the divine blessing went to Jacob. Okay? Progenitor of the Arab peoples. It's very interesting. This is a different show altogether, so just disregard that for now. But Jacob's brother Esau, we know Jacob's black. We're going to find out who Esau is. So, brings us here. And the word is ready. And what does it say? Esau as an infant. So remember, ready. Esau as an infant. We have the word pale. Okay? Now, at the very bottom, you'll see ready. Pale means ready. Now, pale face, suppose North American Indians would word for Europeans. Okay, so we know now that Esau is indeed the white man. Very strange indeed, isn't it? Jacob, his brother, is black. He is white. Brings us here. As you can see, the key, once again, pale, right here. And the word is wrestle. So, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, states, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Very good. Here we go. Jesus Christ. Okay. He's painted as a white man. So whoever is coming or is the Dajjal, he's against this image, the white image of Christ. Okay? Because we know that the Jews, we established in the beginning, Judah is black. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Okay, so the Dajjal is coming back to go against this image, and that's the great fear of everybody who is not black. So Christ means anointed. Okay? Now, in the book of Psalms, we're going to go there, chapter 89, verse 20, then we're going to jump down to 27. I have found David my servant. With my holy oil I have anointed him. Now down to 27, verse 27. Also I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. So he's going to anoint David. So Christ means anointed. Okay? So David, who is black, is going to return. Apparently he's already here on the earth. Nobody knows where he is, but when it's stated in the pseudepigrapha, he's in the north, which means North America. He's here somewhere. Okay? He has one eye. Left eye is missing. Okay? Now, with that, we will go here. So remember, the word Christ means anointed. Okay? And we're going here to the word anoint, which also means to paint. All right? Brings us here, Apocrypha of the King James Bible. And this was originally in the 1611 version of the King James Bible. All right? Now, remember, anoint means paint. So, First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 46 through 48. So, where are we? So, here's chapter 4. So, chapter 3 over here, the top, we're going to go 43, or excuse me, 46 through 48. So that will be from here on down to here. So let's do that. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Mashpah, over against Jerusalem, for in Mashpah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads, and rent their clothes, and laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their image. So remember, Christ means anointed, and David was the anointed one. He's the Christ that will return. Okay? But we know that anoint also means to paint. So, the wickedness in high places, that we wrestle against, they painted their own likeness of Christ, and that's what you see with the white image of Jesus Christ. Okay? So the Antichrist is not a bad person when you're speaking of King David returning as the Dajjal, as everybody's claiming that he is a bad person. No, he's not a bad person. He's coming back to claim his throne that was taken away from Jesus 2,000 years ago. All right? Now, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It's an old proverb. Okay? So, in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 9, that's what Jesus said. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with one eye rather than having two eyes to be cast into hell fire. Okay? Now, we have another verse. And that will be in the book of Acts, chapter 9. So in chapter 9, Acts chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, and it states, when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So Jesus said it is better to enter into life with one eye. Right? Same Jesus will return in like manner. Like manner, which means it won't be him, it will be King David, the Christ. Will come back with one eye, and that's the sign that you should be looking for. Anyone claiming to be Christ returning will have to have that one marker. And there's others. Anyway, it's been a First Estate with another lesson, and I hope it was edifying and well received and with clarity. I will see you in the next lesson.